Alright, what's going on today, YouTube? Welcome back to your favorite cyclist YouTube channel. This week, we're talking about something that somehow in 4 years of cycling content, I haven't talked about yet. But before we get on to the video, if you are new to my channel, make sure you head down below, hit that subscribe button for me. If you already are subscribed, thank you very much. Make sure you hit that little bell icon right next to the subscribe button, that we get notified every time I upload, that we don't miss any of this fun cycling content. So on to the video. What is something I haven't talked about in my 4 years of making videos here on YouTube? It's really something very simple, and I'm really surprised I haven't talked about it yet. And that's going to be fixing a flat tire. In this case, we're going to be patching a tube. So let's get right over the workbench and we'll get working on this tube. So we got the tube over at the workbench here. So first thing you want to do is figure out where the hole is in your tube. So of course, the easiest way to do this, go ahead and fill your tube up. And you should be able to listen around and either feel where the air is coming from, number one. If you can't feel where the air is coming from, you can dump it in a tub of water too, and that will work the same way. You'll see bubbles coming up where the hole is. Once you find your hole, you're going to go ahead and you're going to make an X right over it. As you can see, I started making one here. You can use just a Sharpie. I'm going to use a paint pen just to make it a little bit easier for you guys to actually see where it is. So that's our hole right there. And make sure where the X is across, that's where your actual hole is going to be. So once you've found your hole and have that marked off, you're gonna come into the situation where there are pretty much two main types of patches. So there's what they call a glueless patch and then what they call a glue patch. We're gonna be talking about a glue patch today. So a glue patch is what you're gonna use a rubber cement with, and then pretty much just a little piece of rubber. That's what you're gonna use for that. A glueless patch is essentially just a patch that sticks on there. I'm not a huge fan of the glueless patches, as I find they peel off relatively easy, especially after a long time. If you plan on keeping your bike for quite a long time, use some good old rubber cement patches. They're gonna work the best. So in your patch kit you buy, I kind of have a big patch kit here. But in there, you're generally gonna have either one of these kind of metal scratcher things, a piece of sandpaper. You're gonna, of course, have your rubber cement, and then your patches as well. So first thing we wanna do, you wanna find where your hole was, and you're just going to go ahead and scratch up your hole. Now, one thing you're gonna wanna know is you're gonna wanna go both ways, because really what you're doing is roughing this up so the glue has a good spot to stick to. So we can go ahead and scratch it up there. Scratch it up underneath, and you want to try and get as much air out of this tube as you can. It makes it a little bit easier. There we go. Scratch up underneath there, and then we'll flip the direction around. All right. Cool, just like so. And what you want to do when you're scratching this up, you want to make sure your scratches are a little bit larger than what your patch would cover. So as you can tell, I went a little wider here and a little bit wider here. You want to make sure that the glue has enough space to stick on out here, as well as help hold the patch down in that spot. Okay, so now we got that all scratched up. Next step is going to be to get your rubber cement out. Now with your rubber cement, you're going to do the same thing you just did with the scratching. So you're going to make sure you cover right in the middle there. You don't need to put a whole bunch because it actually spreads very well. But you're going to go out and a little bit wider than your actual patch will go. Again, that's to help keep the edge of the patch down so you don't have a problem with it peeling up later on. There we go. Should be pretty good. And remember, do this in a ventilated area because rubber cement does have a pretty strong smell to it. So we'll hold our patch up, make sure that's pretty good. Oh yeah, we're good. And then with these patches, what you want to do, they have a blue side on here. If you peel that blue side off, there's actually a little bit of tackiness to this rubber, so peel that off of the back. There is a clear side, leave the clear side on until it's all the way on. And then we want to find our X. Where's our X at? There it is. All right, you want to find your X and you want to center your patch on that X. So go ahead and just get that centered on there. Flatten it down, and we're gonna hold it there for roughly, 10, 15 seconds. That way it gets a good purchase on there. And then after that, you need to let this dry. And drying, 5, 10 minutes, maybe. Something until that glue is not as tacky and the patch doesn't move around. So that should be pretty good. And what you want to do, you kind of want to hang it in a position where this stays flat. You don't want your tube to be curling up because that's going to push the patch away and not let that patch stick as well. And of course, once you have it stuck, pull off your little clear piece on the top. There you are. And that's the corner, didn't really want to stick. There we go. So, and there we go. There's our patch. So you let that dry. That should stick on there nice and good. And one side is dry, you are set to pump that up and put that right back in your tire, and you're set to continue on riding. So hopefully that helps you guys. Now you'll be able to patch your own tire and get that all set and ready to go. That way you don't have to spend a bunch of money buying a new tube every time you get a puncture. Couple notes here: if you do have a slime tube in there and the slime won't seal up that hole for whatever reason, make sure you clean up really well around there. The rubber cement and the patch, they don't like sticking to slime, so make sure you clean that really well. That way you get a good patch onto that surface. Otherwise it's not going to stick and just going to peel right off. So make sure you do that if you have slime tubes. You are going to probably need this. It's middle of summer right now, so you do have lots of thorns out there. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Appreciate the support. Any comments or questions, let me know down in the comment section below. Love chatting with you guys. Love answering any questions you guys have. And we'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching today.